Peel, peel, great, great. I have never seen such a pile of carrots before. It's all Chelama's fault, really. I would have been happy to say I have never cooked anything more than rice or gruel, or in the good days a handful of dal and lots of tamarind water. But Chelama warned me before we went to Mem Sahib's flat. Keep your silly mouth shut, let me do the talking. If she asks you what you can do, say everything. You can cook, sweep and swab, wash clothes, look after children. If they have to teach you, it means at least 50 rupee less. But what do I know of their cooking, Chelama? What if they find out? What if they beat me? Do you want to take the first train back to Salem? I don't have to help you. You are only my cousin's neighbor's daughter. Do you want to go back and become a beggar? Or worse? These Mem Sahibs in Delhi know nothing. You'll learn their cooking in a day or two. Left to right, left to right. The shiny peeler peels a fine skin off the carrot. The pile of peeled carrots grow bigger and bigger. They are naked red without their skins, red and angry like blood. Luckily for Chalama, I know so little Hindi I didn't open my mouth anyway. The Mem Sahib looked at me, but it didn't bother her that I seemed a deaf mute. How old is she? She asked Chalama instead. Oh, 16, 17, she replied, fawning, looking as if she was going to stroke the Mem Sahib's bare, plump, white arm. But you know our girls, they learn everything young. She can cook, clean, look after the Baba. But where's the little darling? Either the Mem Sahib had heard all of this before, or she didn't believe a word of it. Okay, she said, 150 because she looks thin and weak to me. And we may have to spend on doctors and medicines too. Poor thing didn't know that Chalama could bargain so hard she could even hike up the price of a rotten banana. 200 Mem Sahib. The lady in the next building has offered 250, but I said, what is 50 rupees? My Mem Sahib depends on me. And who will look after my sweet Baba? All right, said the Mem Sahib, no longer pretending she could win. I am desperate and you know it. But if she can't learn things fast enough, forget it. You can take her back. An hour later, I was there in my new home with my 2 petticoats, blouse, and my only good half sari. Wash your hands first, she said. Are you sure you don't have lice in your hair? I quickly stopped scratching my head, at least in front of her. In my few weeks in Delhi, I have learned enough Hindi to understand a little, but I still say yes or no when I have to speak, hoping it is the right answer. I have only finished peeling them and already I can feel the stiffness in my right hand and the moistness in my underarms. I hold the carrots in the red plastic container, the one with holes under the open pipe at the kitchen sink. The water gushes out of the pipe, cold, fresh, and never ending, as if entire river lies inside it. So I have a job now, my first. Not that I didn't have enough work to do at home. The firewood, the water queue that got longer and longer, that's where I learned to fight and push and shove. If you stand there like a dumb idiot, you will come home with an empty bucket, screamed Amma. My mother was always screaming. No wonder my father left her. He must have been afraid of going deaf. We are well rid of him. He's a lazy drunken bastard, she said. She went to work every day, even on days when she was sick or when her stomach was empty, to the highway they were building near our village. She would leave at 6 in the morning after drinking the strong, sweet tea I made for her. She coiled a rag on her head ready for the basket of gravel she would carry all day. On her hip she held the youngest, who she was still breastfeeding. The other two stayed at home with me. I would get my brother Selvan ready for school, feed him his gruel, oil and comb his hair, and wave at him from the door of our hut. That Perumai is like a little mother, everyone said. Then Tai, my baby sister, and I would begin our chores for the day. The carrots freshly washed dazzle my eyes like sunshine and rain water on my Mem Sahib's smooth pink skin. I pick up one and begin scrapping. The grater with 100 holes, big on one side, small on the other, scratches deeper and deeper into its flesh. The core is dry and a very pale greenish white. Its skin is thick and it does not grate easily. We never thought it could get worse, but we were young. The highway was built after 18 months of back-breaking work. Then Amma could not find work. The rains failed for the second year. No work anywhere, Perumai. Amma said, no longer screaming. When I heard her voice grown soft and gentle, I knew we were really in trouble. I think she wanted me to stay with her, but who knows? And what could she do? Our neighbor's cousin was taking 5 of the village girls to Delhi with her. Amma decided that I should go too. Earn something and send it to me, she said. Listen to Chelama, but don't give her any money. And don't get into trouble, especially with those Hindi boys. I have heard that they burn their wives and throw bombs in the market. I stuck to Chelama like a leech on the train and didn't look at anyone's face. Then we came to her home, a small room in Munrika that smelt of urine. The room was actually a scooter garage. I learnt later, but even the small dark hole with no tap for water and no toilet, Chalama had got after years of working for the same Mem Sahib in the colony. She is my mother now, and I have to give her 50 rupees from my salary every month. That still leaves me 150 rupees to send home. But first, I must buy a sweater, a blue one with shiny beaded flowers, the kind I saw a girl wearing at the milk booth queue. Then I don't have to sleep with the thin, lumpy mattress on top of me pretending it is a blanket. At the milk booth, the queue reminds me of our fights at the water tap in village. But I don't have to push so much here. I have made friends. We stick close to each other so that we feel brave enough to stare boldly at gundas who jump the queue and pinch the girls. My friends work in the flats in the same colony. Their mem sahibs are a lot like mine. They tease me and laugh at my Hindi, but I know they are no so different from me, so I laugh with them. Like Amma, they tell me not to be a silly fool and slave for my mem sahib. In 6 months, they say you can get a job for double the money in a richer colony. The carrots in my hand grow shorter and shorter. The last bit is the worst. I frown and frown, my eyes on the grater, daring it to scrape my fingers. Then I steal a quick look behind me and pop the last stubborn bit into my mouth. It stays there, juicy and sweet, but it refuses to melt. So I learn to swap, quickly skipping corners and under the bed when she is not looking. The water freezes my fingers. How can people wash their clothes when the sun doesn't even shine properly? In our village near Salem, I would scrub and scrub our clothes, hit them again and again on the rocks near the river. Here I squeeze out the baby's stinky clothes and pretend not to understand when the Mem Sahib points out the yellow stains drying in crusts on the diapers. I like the small kitchen though. If I shut the door and turn the gas knobs to high and fold my hands over the onion sizzling in oil, I feel warm, safe, almost as if I was at home. Only we now have a gas stove and a fridge and meat thrice a week. But it's not meat I'm chopping today. It's carrots. Mounds of it for halwa, she says. GAJAR halwa, she said, and laughed when I asked her, Kachar halwa? Maybe I should laugh at her the next time she calls me Prema. She had been to school, she can drive a car, and she can't say Perumai. So I scrape and scrape the carrot fall like thick orange cold raindrop on the plate. My arms get stiffer and stiffer, my fingers feel as if they will never straighten out again. Then she comes and pours the little mountain of carrots into a pan of milk on the fire. Stir, stir, don't stop for a minute, she says. So I stretch my fingers and begin stirring. The carrots drink up the milk, sucking like my hungry little brother at my mother's breast. Then more milk and sugar. Stir, stir, she barks. Don't you dare stop. Stirring, stirring, round and round, scraping the sides of the pan, round and round again. My cold body bent over the pan on the fire, my arm numb with pain. Then a great red gold warmth spreads all over my bones so that beads of sweat stand out on my forehead. Gajar absorbing, sucking in like a greedy round red mouth, swallows the sugar, the ghee, and the milk. It sucks in everything, and the earliest spluttering becomes a faint but steady heave of red, like a heartbeat, then gentle sighs. It becomes one big gooey red suck, suck, heave, heave. I bend and bend over it. I don't see anything else. My stirring arm now caresses it, and I can feel the grainy, syrupy, strange thickness they call gajar halwa. Then the skin of the halwa breaks open right in the middle like a great big yawning mouth. It sucks in my louse-ridden head with one well-aimed slurp. I'm part of it now. The halwa a foot above my head, part of thickening red sweetness in the open mouth of the strange city. Thank you for listening.